Attachment, or should we call it non-attachment? Attachment is the root cause of all problems, and detachment is the solution, and detachment is the ultimate destination. Moha Ksha. Moha means attachment, Ksha means end. When it is said that I want to attain moksha or nirvana, that is considered the final destination on a spiritual path. And by definition, it is end of all attachment. And the way to that destination is by ending all attachments. Quite obvious, isn't it? Yet it seems like end of attachment is something has to be given to me or to be attained. What if it is neither attainment or something that has to come from outside of me? What if attachment is nothing but my own attachment, my own holding on to something, my own expectation, my own desire? It's not because of something or someone. It is of my own making. It did not exist before. It didn't come from outside. Perhaps attachment is man made. Perhaps attachment is one thing that God did not create. Attachment is human. And who does not have it? We all have it. Or should we look at then from the lens of non attachment? Let's take this journey from the eyes of love. It starts from love and leads to care for a person or a thing. The attachment can then lead to fear of losing what you are attached to. And that fear of losing can lead to all kinds of things, including ultimate obsession and control. And then that leads to some sort of madness, mad attachment. And the transition from love to care to attachment to fear of losing what I'm attached to be obsessed to my attachment. It is very singular, contractive, heart closing, fear based contraction of the heart and reduction of the love. That leads to hurtful things, to the point that the very thing that you are afraid of losing, you lose as a result of the fear of losing it. And it ends in misery. It leads to misery. It doesn't really end. There is no end to attachment. Just the way there is no end to love, there is also no end to attachment. No one has seen that, okay, this is the 100% attachment. This is the final phase of attachment. After that, it culminates. It ends. No one has seen the either end of the spectrum. One end is the love, the other end is the attachment. The attachment in some way is like the mirror image of it. It is the mirage. It is not the mirror image, it's the mirage. It actually doesn't exist. It is created humanly out of mental aberration, out of imagination, out of fear, for a good reason, perhaps. It's not unreasonable. You can reason it. So then, how is it that we, who are embodiments of love, who are born out of love, who are here to follow our love, which is in our heart, our passions, and to so called attain and become one with God, which is nothing but an expression of love or love itself? How is it that what starts with love, what originates from love, what is sourced from love, what is experienced with and through love, what is done for love, how is it that it transitions from love to obsession of some sort, to a madness of some sort, through a myriad journeys of attachments and fears of losing what you're attached to without our notice? I don't know the reason. But once you are awakened, once you see the truth, once you see the light, once you see that the attachment is hurting, once you come to a realization that, and that realization can be your own realization or through someone else. Once you come to that realization, once you see the truth, once you see the love or lack thereof, once you see the lack of truth in attachment, then you can just let go of the false pretense of love, the obsession, the madness, and let love be the solitary goal, the source, the way, the process, the all of it. Through love, you can identify the mistake. Through love, you can identify the ticking or the crossing over the borders, because there are no borders between love and attachment, although they are so different. They're polar opposites, but they're attached to the hip. I woke up this morning around 5 o'clock with this idea that I'm supposed to record this morning. I did not know what to record. And then, so I dilly-dallied in the bed. Then I said, what am I going to record? What is the topic? And then the keyword came, was attachment. I'm like, what am I going to talk about? And I wasted another couple of hours mulling over the topic of attachment. I'm like, who am I to speak about attachment? What do I know about attachment? I became attached to the idea of being afraid of speaking about the topic of attachment versus depending on the love in my heart, depending upon that source that told me that I'm supposed to speak about the topic, that having confidence that it shall reveal to me what needs to be spoken, that I no longer need to be afraid or attached to the idea of how good I will be able to speak on the topic of attachment. You see the folly of it, and I saw it in front of my eyes, and I saw how powerless it made me feel. And the moment I said, okay, I'm just gonna follow through what is welling up out of love in my heart, what is the voice of God, what is the inspiration, and then surrender my fears and then let it flow. It is happening right here and now. This is love, not attachment.